Yes, indeed. Now, if because that's the talk. A lot of people are skeptical if he even gonna show up. You know what I mean? But I know you gotta stay ready, regardless of what he doing. But is there something in place in case he pulls another dummy move? If he tries, what if he say his leg got broken, some shit. He got the new strain of COVID, Delta Alpha, whatever the fuck. Is there a plan in place for a replacement, or can you sue him? What's the next move if he don't show up?
I mean, if he don't show up, he's gonna have to suffer the consequences, the penalties that's been set for. If he don't fight, then pay me what you're supposed to pay me, and then you have to give up that belt as well. So it's a win-win situation for me. It's a lose-lose situation for him, and that's the great thing about it because the saying has always been said that history repeats itself, and we know that his action is always the same. He's done this many a times where he tried to get out of fights and get out of fights and get out of fights, and people have let him. He had a door to escape from, but at this moment in time, he have no more doors. He has no option. Like I said, either put up or shut up, either fight or retire. Either fight or give me my money and give up that belt.
Those are the words of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder as he answers the question of 78 Sports TV that conducted the interview. Shout out to him. And he said, well, basically, he has to suffer the consequences. He either fights me, gives up that belt, or pay me what he's supposed to pay me. Now, he also went on to say that Tyson Fury's been doing this. He's had a trend of getting out of fights that he was obligated to fight. And Deontay Wilder has pointed out that, hey, history repeats itself. So therefore, things remain the same. But in this situation, it doesn't, okay? And as of now, Tyson Fury has seemed to do something that he wasn't accustomed to doing. All right. Let me counterpunch. First of all, congratulations to Deontay Wilder for getting the third fight. He deserves the third fight. He fought for the third fight. People didn't believe that he was going to get the opportunity of the third fight. And I was one of them because I believe that because I knew Anthony Joshua wanted to fight Tyson Fury, I thought that Tyson Fury wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. But I was wrong. And now looking back at hindsight, you're looking at a fighter that is a two-time unified fighter taking on the current WBC champion. I seen that Tyson Fury, I don't believe, had any intention on fighting Anthony Joshua this year or before Deontay Wilder. I think he always had and always knew that he was going to fight Deontay Wilder. The only thing that I can think of is why would he spend, Wilder said thousands of dollars, Tyson Fury said millions of dollars, so we don't really know how much money Tyson Fury spent on lawyers if he knows he was just going to turn around and fight Deontay Wilder anyway. Okay? And he had everybody fooled. That's what Tyson Fury does. Okay? Tyson Fury is the kind of dude that he makes you think that he's doing this. He makes you think that this is happening and then something totally different happens. Okay? The fact that he chose to fight Deontay Wilder shows me that he had no intention on fighting Joshua, especially after that long a layoff. His father feared it. He feared it. So since they both feared it, it didn't happen. They wanted to take on Deontay Wilder because it would be an even split. It would be an even amount of time since any of those guys been in the ring, since none of them has fought anybody else, since they fought each other. So looking at what we look at, I have no doubt that Tyson Fury is picking the easy way out. Bars. But the money, my question is, how much money would Tyson Fury have to pay Deontay Wilder to get out of this fight? You know, and another question is, why would he have to give up his belt or retire? But then here's the thing. That's the scary thing about Fury. Fury, don't tell Fury don't give Fury a way out, because that's basically what he did with Vladimir Klitschko. He basically gave up every belt. Hey, I'm mentally ill. I'm not at myself. I'm not right now. I'm out of my head right now, or whatever. And he just stopped fighting and stopped doing everything. Took the charge from UCAD that they applied to him, right? They did that. He started partying, drinking, and doing whatever the hell he was doing, and it wasn't fighting. And he just, I guess, I don't even know if he really even retired. We just know he wasn't fighting. Okay, so Deontay Wilder, you know, I hate that he said that, because that could give Tyson Fury's ass a way out. Like, I'll just retire then. I'll just retire, and that will be that. But I am interested in the amount of money that he has to pay Deontay Wilder. So I think in Tyson saying, well, hey, it'll be easier to fight him than to pay him. You know, I just don't understand why you had all these lawyers to try to make everyone think that you were really trying to get out of this fight, which in actuality, I don't believe that he really was. I think that he was trying to convince other people that he was trying to get out of the fight. Therefore, you know, selling that wolf ticket, selling Joshua's name, you know, they're going to have this big-ass fight from both guys from Britain and all this bullshit, which he knew that wasn't going to happen. And him, Frank Warren, Bob Arum knew that. Why do you think they didn't put energy in and try to make that fight? They only looked at one side because they were the only side that really wanted to fight at the end of the day. Bob Arum had already had venues set aside for Wilder Fury. So why in the hell are we supposed to believe that he or they wanted to fight with Anthony Joshua? They just tested Eddie Hearn to see if he could do the job. Didn't mean they were going to take the fight once the shit got made. Okay? You know what I mean? That's a big coincidence on why he went on and, oh, yeah, I'm going to fight. I just got off the phone with Prince Khalid and all that bullshit. You ever noticed the very next day, oh, I'm fighting him. Like, it would seem like if you knew the money was there, you had enough money to pay Wilder to fight Joshua since you wanted to fight him so fucking bad, right? But instead, you milk and stretch another fight with Deontay Wilder when you already had the money in the bag, because they told you the fucking money was in the bag. Not Eddie Hearn, not Anthony Joshua, not anybody on that side, but the man that had the site fee, the man that was going to put up the money for the fight, told you he was. So why in the fuck would you go and then say, hey, we're going to fight? It's going to be on, baby, in Saudi Arabia. And then the very next day, oh, this is nothing we can do about it. Yeah, it is. Always something you can do about it. You know, but then it's weird. But then if Deontay Wilder expects Mauricio Suleiman to give up the WBC belt because of that situation, he may have another thing coming based on the antics that Mauricio has done lately. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this part of the interview. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.